Good morning, doctor. Welcome back.
Good morning, Venkatesh. Nice to have you back again.
Thank you. Thank you. So, our topic for today is moderation. And it goes without saying that since our channel itself is about wellness related to balance, moderation goes hand in hand. All balance requires moderation, right? We can only balance things if we keep things, every individual thing in its place by being moderate. And that is crucial to not suffering from an excess of anything. Very often that's the cause of either stress or problems with our body or our mind, or getting into troubles like addictive or compulsive behaviors. All of this comes down to moderation, right? And how we actually manage to keep everything within its limits. Yes, doctor?
Yes, very true.
Over to you, doc.
Okay. Thank you, Venkatesh. Life cannot run without moderation.
Correct.
Yeah. When there is something happening, and if you are not moderate about that whole thing, you'll end up skewing yourself and disturbing yourself more.
Correct.
Moderation will ensure that you are within reasonable limits and
Correct.
you are within limits for all around you. So
Correct.
that is the moderation part. And but many times our moderation is disturbed by ourselves.
Right.
So emotions come and disturb you, or some events happen that disturb you, and such things. So these things lead to immoderation, if you like, or lack of moderation, and that
Correct.
creates problems.
Correct.
For example, the latest example is of the war amongst the superpowers.
Correct.
Somebody is not going in moderation, somebody is going all topsy-turvy, and therefore millions of people are dying and lots of property loss will be there and so forth.
Correct.
So, latest example is also applicable to all other examples, whether you are talking about First World War or whatever else.
Correct.
So moderation is the sine qua non of
Correct.
anything happening at all. Any competition of the comments, Venkatesh?
No, absolutely. Absolutely. I think from the biggest to the smallest things, our ability to stay moderate is what keeps things in balance. Absolutely. Like this picture is showing.
Right.
Yeah.
So there are two terms which are mutually contradictory. If you moderate yourself, then you are managing your emotions and other events that factor into your life.
Correct.
And you don't do that, if you end up indulging in somebody's mind or action,
Correct.
then that is bound to lead to immoderation.
Correct.
So indulgence means, you are letting somebody go for
letting
a free
yourself.
ride.
Correct.
Yeah. And for example, a child looking at a balloon in the shop.
Correct.
Yeah? Balloon is not easy to get, for example. So within the shop window,
Right.
the child keeps on crying, and I want this, I want that. So that is, and if the parents yield to that, it's called indulgence.
Correct.
Indulgence is when you're letting somebody go haywire,
Correct.
Correct. And that is indulgence. Indulgence will definitely lead to imbalance.
Correct.
And lead to more disturbances emotionally and physically also.
Correct.
So that is moderation, indulgence, and so forth. Any comments, Venkatesh?
No, absolutely. I love that you started with indulgence and moderation, and you defined indulgence not just as, people think indulgence is about indulging in food or alcohol. It's about indulging a runaway impulse, right? Or a sort of errant emotion.
Correct. So anything in excess is indulgence.
Correct.
Opposite of it is moderation.
Correct.
Within your senses and you are within your reactions to people and so forth. So
Correct.
that is moderation. And the wise old man of Chakravarti.
No, this is Chanakya.
Chanakya.
Or at least it is being attributed to Chanakya here. Yes.
Yeah. Chanakya was, of course, within the court of.
Sorry?
I forget the name of the
Yeah. I think it was Chanakya and Chandragupta or not. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So if, in short, if you are moderate, you are likely to stick longer enough, and you are likely to be respected more also.
Correct.
And
Can you speak up a little, doctor?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you are within the limits, proclaimed by Chanakya, then you are okay. That is in
Correct.
moderation. If not, you are indulging somewhere too much, and we
Correct.
are creating problems. So that is Chanakya.
So I guess this statement he has made, which I guess is the next one here.
Yeah, go ahead.
No. So this is a statement that I guess is common, right? Go ahead, doctor.
Yeah. So there is a succinct saying in Sanskrit
Right.
to each and every person in life. And if you are not being careful enough, you end up with ati. Ati is excess.
Correct.
And if indulging in ati, then you are getting into varjayet. Varjayet means it is to be shunned.
Avoided. Yes.
Ati sarvatra varjayet. Ati excess, sarvatra everywhere, and varjayet is to be shunned.
Correct.
Yeah. Next slide, please.
Yeah. So basically shun excess in any place, in everything. Yes.
So now an equivalent of a thing in English is like this temperance,
Correct.
which is taught to many students of management and even otherwise in general walk of life.
Correct.
Balance in all things is the temperance.
Correct.
If you are not being balanced, then you have lost your temperance, and you are creating a lot of trouble for everybody around
Correct.
you.
Correct.
And that is to be shunned. That
Correct.
is to be avoided.
Correct.
So temperance is the basic rule for existence on this planet Earth, if you like. If all these sharks and other animals, whether on the man or otherwise, if you are not behaving in temperance, then they are going to create more and more trouble.
Correct.
Now, whether it is a shark that is going up and berserk, or if you are a dinosaur going around eating up and destroying.
Yeah, nature has a way of balancing it, correct? That no one species can get out of hand.
Yeah. The example is dinosaur. The dinosaurs stood for more than 500 years, they say.
500 million years, yeah.
Yeah. Excuse me. So they also came to an end, by the way. The dinosaurs crossed the point of sustenance. And they also came to an end because they lost their temperance. They went around beating too much and biting too much, and that created its own hell for other animals. And even the mighty dinosaurs have to balance, they have to obey the balance of temperance. And that is where maybe in a short run, or it may not be, the dinosaurs we talked about is.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. Nature has a different mechanism to control balance, which we can talk about, right? Homeostasis of all sorts.
Correct. And
but we are talking at the individual level. I guess what we are talking about here is to balance everything, you need to control every action. Could you go through these points?
Right. Hello?
Yes, please go through the points in the slide.
Yeah. So temperance is balance in all things.
Correct.
Control in every action and moderation instead of excess. All these are the features of temperance. And ultimately they will converge into balance, which is the essence of very living. And discipline in every day-to-day choice is the basic rule, basic demand of the species. Now, for example, our own human species, which we believe is insurmountable. Now, our human species is also nearing an end if it doesn't follow. For example, you are consuming all energies, whether petroleum or otherwise, and you dry up. Then you have lost your temperance. And you have lost your very existence. So short run,
discipline, if you don't, for example, discipline your choices, And I guess that was what indulgence was, right? You don't discipline the choice, like you use the example of the child. Your choices you cannot exercise all choices and sort of try to gather everything in excess. It will backfire.
Right, right. So, for example, there are other, we can look at the way we eat.
Correct.
Can be an intemperance in the way we eat or we behave? Yes. For example, if we don't have a balanced diet,
correct,
and itself create more and more problems,
correct,
and that will be leading to cholesterol and sugar and amino acids and stuff like that. And
correct,
it is very basic things that we consume, eat.
correct,
is imbalance, and that is creating problems which we see now.
correct.
We see now that an imbalanced or unbalanced diet is the basic cause of all coronaries and other hepatic.
Yeah, a lot of lifestyle diseases come from imbalance, right?
Exactly. Something is getting skewed up somewhere, and somebody is paying a price for that.
Correct.
So that it starts with the diet. We'll give it as an example because it's a day-to-day affair. We eat something every 3 or 4 hours a day. So
correct. Correct.
by itself imbalance.
Correct.
So if you don't control that, for example, that imbalanced diet has taken the form of what they call as I forget the name again.
Sorry, yeah.
Intermittent fasting, they say.
Yeah. No, so yeah, that's one way of controlling your impulses at least. Correct.
Yeah. In intermittent fasting is, it requires enormous discipline.
Correct.
In the kitchen, somebody is cooking some nice, lovely, aromatic things. And if you don't control your impulse to go and gobble more of that,
correct,
then there's imbalance.
Correct.
And the result or the side effect of all that is cholesterol goes up, lipids go up.
Your insulin resistance goes up. Correct.
Yeah.
And your cortisol will finally go up as well.
Right, right. And they do. In fact, almost all the chemical parameters of day-to-day living you see is embodied within that sphere of
balance. Correct. Balance. Sorry?
Yeah, somebody rang the bell. Anyway.
Don't worry about it. You carry on. Please carry on.
So, imbalanced diet is the basic root cause of all
our illnesses. Correct. Yeah.
Now, here in this context, there is something by way of terminology.
Right.
Work, for example.
Correct.
Work is good, but work can be pretty bad also.
Correct.
And that's work, which we call as workaholism.
Correct.
Workaholism is a derivative of alcoholism, and where people get enjoyment, people get a kick out of working all the time.
Correct.
They work not just 8 hours, not just 10 hours, not just 20 hours, almost 24 hours a day they are working.
Correct.
And have a president of the United States boasting that his work day never stops.
Correct.
Whether it's a good thing or bad thing. And obviously it is not a good thing because the initial applaud reaction that people get around ourselves.
Correct.
Initially they appreciate workaholism. They say, oh my God, he's a non-stop machine. Yeah? Correct. And if it goes on, it is affecting your other aspects of life. For example, work ethic.
And even your decision making, right? Your productivity and decision making goes down if you're just working because you are addicted to working.
Right, right. And this workaholic is, without balance, the loss of balance in working.
Exactly.
Work is a byproduct of that. Correct. If you don't respect your own people around you, then your ethics suffers. And you are too busy with workaholism, and you are not
paying attention. Balance is the most important part of this, right? And that's why I guess the difference that is written here between work ethic and alcoholism. Work ethic is you're intentionally doing focused work, and workaholism is you're compulsively working.
Right. Actually, in modern times, alcoholism or workaholism is thrust upon the individual. We see advertisements in, you know, whatever.
Yeah, I guess, there will always be pressures towards excess, whether it is in work or in food. But I guess what we are discussing is how crucial it is for us to resist those impulses.
Right. And people force it on you. Modern managements force it on you. And they applaud somebody who is a workaholic and working 23 and a half hours a day. They feel very proud about it. That man never sleeps. You can say, New York never sleeps, but even New York finally will have to pay a price for that. There are problems of going berserk in day-to-day life. An average New Yorker, and it is not catching up in other cities and other walks of life.
Spheres as well.
And it's creating an enormous disturbance emotionally and physically. And you have to learn to curb it. And who is going to curb it? Your employer or somebody above you will curb it, provided he can.
But you should curb it. You have to draw your own lines and boundaries. Correct. I think in all our talks, what we are focusing on is what the individual can do within the constraints.
Right. And Socrates, for example, the famous Greek philosopher, he demanded all things in moderation, including moderation itself. This is a
good one.
But it is true. It is true. Yeah, it has to be good because it is said by Socrates.
Correct.
Socrates, you may be so obsessed with moderation that itself becomes immoderation.
Correct.
You are constantly badgering this moderation part of it. That itself will lead to immoderation.
Yeah. Very good point. Exactly. I'm glad you chose this because the obsession with moderation can also get out of hand. And there are times when you have to do what you have to do. Correct.
So now, another word called abstinence.
Correct.
Abstinence, by definition, is abstaining from something.
Correct.
And doing that which you would have otherwise done.
Correct.
So you are stopping yourself from doing things.
Correct.
And that is abstinence.
Correct.
Yeah. That often goes with moderation. So abstinence or moderation or immoderation will happen by itself if you are abstaining, like that we saw intermittent fasting.
Correct.
Fasting is because you can't be fasting 24 hours a day.
Exactly.
Correct. You cannot be working 24 hours a day. So
correct.
Both are immoderation.
Correct.
Abstinence is remaining absent from compelling emotions and compelling behavior patterns. So that is abstinence. But it's not being talked about much because it doesn't.
No, and I guess like the Rishya Shringa example we discussed, right? That if you completely abstain, you may not actually be able to exercise moderation when you are exposed to the impulse.
Right. So abstinence by definition is immoderation. It's spelled differently if you like.
Correct. Yeah, it's the other side. Just as excess is an immoderation, complete abstinence also is an immoderation.
Yeah. And that will create a lot of problems. For example, if you eat the wrong type of diet,
correct,
abstain from eating at all,
correct,
then you got problems with
anorexia.
Basically, weight loss and resistance to infections, etc., are lost.
Correct.
And you pay a price for it the other way around.
Correct.
There is a condition called anorexia nervosa.
Correct.
You are into nervous anorexia.
Correct.
So, for example, this is supposed to be more common in women. And they, in the name of weight control and so forth, they end up eating almost nothing.
Correct.
Just a full of food in around lunchtime or dinner time.
Correct.
And that creates anorexia.
Correct.
Nervosa means nervous anorexia.
Correct.
Don't think that it is as infrequent as you might imagine otherwise.
Correct.
It is, for example, in the modeling industry, the thinner you are, the higher the marks you are getting for your.
Correct. You are creating a role model of the negative of imbalance, right?
Yeah.
You make just like excess work is a role model, like you said. Similarly, being completely abstaining from food is a role model. Is both are imbalanced.
Yeah. Here again, the behavior pattern is thrust upon the contestant, so that they can get more marks or more
assignments or whatever. Yeah, I think the attraction or the sort of compulsion towards excess or to immoderation is there. We have to learn to control it with discipline, is what we are saying.
Right, right. So much
because
of it
you have
is
no choice, as you are about to say.
So, what is the mantra? Mantra is immoderation is the secret of survival. If you don't be or act immoderate,
Moderately, sir. Yeah.
moderate.
Moderation is the secret of survival.
Yeah. So this is to rephrase what you have been seeing or doing. And gradually the moderation part, or the moderation part, rather, gets built into your personality.
Correct.
It becomes a habit. It becomes
Correct.
a irregularity in thinking and action.
Correct.
And if you don't do that, immoderation is a problem for survival, and many of them die. So
correct.
They have taken heavy price.
Correct.
And it leads to the very question of
no, I think the very important thing you talked about just now is the fact that moderation is a habit, right? So that's as they sort of say, the word measured, right? You become measured. The moment you're measured, you're habitually going to be moderate, right? Rather than given to swinging.
Right, right. So they say everything should be in moderation, but then people have made a provision for your in moderation also. Occasionally is okay. Now, for example, in the lunar cycle of thinking and behavior,
right?
Trayodashi is the third day of the lunar cycle. Whether it is a waxing phase or waning phase.
Right.
Trayodashi is kept for fasting.
Right.
And this is allowed to you. On Trayodashi day, you can eat.
Right.
And then, I may not be actual or something.
Yeah, not completely accurate, but yeah, the concept is that you get on Trayodashi, you can indulge.
Right. Correct. Ekadashi, for example, Ekadashi
is the other side. Yeah, Ekadashi you typically fast.
Yeah. So Ekadashi is given as a provision, like the Sabbath. The idea of Sabbath was created by Jesus Christ, and he said, people were working like dogs, literally, and they didn't know how to relax, and then they used to leading to criminal behavior and so forth. But then Jesus Christ said, and that spilled over to your Islamic, Jewish and Islamic.
Yeah, Jewish, I guess it came from Jewish, that entire Abrahamic religions, they have the concept of a Sabbath of some sort, right? Yeah. One day of the week where everyone rests. And by doing that, the whole system, even the employer cannot ask his employee to work. Correct.
Yeah, and this spills over further into a whole lunar month of fasting.
Correct.
It didn't start that way, but nobody knows how it started. But it ended up being a full month of.
Whether it is Lent or Ramzan, both of them are this period of abstinence, sort of doing this, holding yourself in check.
Yeah, yeah. And of course, the rules are meant only to be broken, as they say in English. Right. When there is a rule, you end up breaking it for whatever reason. Right. And it is required, especially in cases where there is an emotional or hormonal imbalance, you have to create some provision for letting it out.
Correct. Correct.
The thing is, which is, yeah.
Correct. No, I think actually, in different ways, religions have taken into account human tendencies. Like you said, whether it's the Ekadashi, Trayodashi, or for example, in Maharashtra, before, Shrad, sorry, not Shrad, Shravan. In Shravan, you do not have non-veg. But before that, they will have this called Gatari, where you basically go indulge for a whole day on non-veg before you take that period when you're not going to have non-veg, right? So some release valves are given so that you don't fatigue from the control and everything else. Absolutely, it's better to factor it in than be surprised by the fact that you can get fatigued by control as well.
Yeah.
We have 3 more slides, doctor. So just focusing on the time.
So the rule is that the provision of the rule is live in moderation, but not in extremes. Yeah.
Correct.
Be moderate. Don't be extreme. Otherwise,
correct.
It's the same sort of putting a lid on what you do. Even when you are thinking on acting, there is a lid on your head. To turn on the lid and so forth. Live in moderation and not in extremes. Next slide, please. And the concept of sustainability is very important to keep in mind. Now, the indulgence or erratic behavior in any form, whether it is in economics or archaeology or any walk of life,
correct.
Unless you're able to sustain whatever you're doing, don't do it.
Correct.
No. If you can't sustain, don't do it.
There is something wrong if it is unsustainable. Exactly.
Yeah. So this started with sustainability in corporate behavior, for example. In corporate behavior, you have a set pattern, and it has to, it's called corporate social responsibility.
Correct.
You say, I'll do this much to help this one somebody. But can you do it? Can you keep on doing it?
Correct.
The answer most of this is no.
Correct.
So you are being forced into a sustainable, not so sustainable system. And if you don't do it, you're considered as a failure.
Correct.
But in sustainable corporate behavior, your ability to sustain
continue.
It,
Correct.
The more you sustain, the more you do it better.
Correct.
Like that.
I think you have said this also many times, doctor, in the context of our personal, even good things, right? Whether it is exercise or something, keep it consistent. You get benefits from consistency, but for that you have to keep it sustainable. You can't do one whole day of exercise and then collapse the next day, right? You're better off doing half an hour of exercise every day than doing 4 hours of exercise one day and then not doing exercise for 3-4 days.
Right. In management,
the same thing is true at the level of societies. That's why you say sustainable use of water or sustainable use of energy. Correct.
Do we have time for one more slide?
Yeah. These are last 2 slides. No problem. Now we can cover these 2. Yeah.
Now, moderation is a term that goes side by side with modulation.
Correct.
Although the same, they are closely related to one another. So let's hear a little about modulation also. Modulation is when you get a signal, whether it is auditory or other signal, where your signal frequencies are kept under control in a predictable, sustainable manner. And the modulation in voice, modulation in human behavior, ultimately.
Correct.
So that again will ensure that this will ensure that it is sustainable. If you are modulating something, you are sustaining it. And if it is...
Yeah, it's a very important, I think it's a very good point you touched on, because even, when we talk of modulation, we talk of, for example, amplitude modulation, which means the extent to which something goes up or down, you modulate it. So you don't allow it to get out of hand either on the upper or the lower side. Right. So modulation is that way of moderation. It's a very good point. The last slide. This is the last slide, doctor. And I think your favorite.
For being a last slide, it can be rather heavy on intellect. So,
but I think it's a very important way to end it. And actually, you mentioned it before. Yes, please go ahead.
So whenever you have an impulse or something to stimulate your brain or the impulse happens, then you have the choice of taking you to the high road of thinking and behaving, or you can remain in the low road or amygdala, where the brain behaves erratically and creates more problems. So amygdala, also it appears here, yes.
Yeah.
Amygdala is a hijack kind of a thing, where the brain literally hijacks your thinking process and it bursts out into undesirable actions and so
Emotional responses. Yeah. Rather than considered responses. Rather than considered or thoughtful, you respond at an emotional level.
Yeah. So it is called hijack amygdala.
Amygdala hijack.
Which
Correct.
Yeah. And so low road is a hijacked one, high road is a uncorrected one.
Correct.
The brain corrects itself, provided it doesn't go into bizarre kind of a thing.
Correct.
We sort of looked at this earlier, and we'll keep looking at it looking at it now.
Yeah.
Because the low road, it creates a problem, high road corrects the problem.
Yeah. So and the high road is the one we use for moderation, right? I think that is a very important point. Correct.
Very true.
And I think there is a lot, maybe literally one day and I think you've covered it in different sessions, but in the context of moderation, very often this low road hijack is like a short circuit, right? You do the first thing that comes to your mind, or you automatically respond, is what addiction is about, right? Or compulsive behavior is about. You pause and think, is it good for you? Is it appropriate? That is the high road. And for that, you need to pause. You need to give your cortex a chance to engage.
Right. Yeah. In fact, we can do a full session on high road versus low road.
High road versus low road. Yes, that's a good idea. Yeah, we will do that.
Whenever the situation approves.
Yes. So should I summarize, Doctor?
Yeah, I think you do. Yes, you should do.
Yeah. No, thank you so much, Doctor. So today we talked about a very important aspect of our wellness. In fact, it's baked into the title of our channel, which is moderation is the source of all balance. Whenever we do an excess of something, we put things in imbalance. And even an excess of something good or seemingly good, whether it is something like work or exercise, the moment there is imbalance, it crowds out other important things and good things. And we need to be able to control that. To do that, we talked about a term called temperance, right? And the reason temperance is associated with moderation is we are able to temper our excesses only when we build that discipline and control by practice. Moderation becomes a habit once we realize it is important. We also covered whether moderation is about abstinence, which is just doing, completely letting go of something. And we also realized that also is a form of immoderation. Either an excess or absolutely nothing, either of them is immoderation. So doctor then finally talked about how all of this is linked to modulation and how at a neural, circuitry or chemistry level, we have to give our brains the chance to use the high road, which is the ability to think about whether something is right rather than just automatically compulsively indulge ourselves. Yes, doctor, does that summarize?
Yeah, very good. Nice summary.
Thank you, doctor.
Thank you very much.
So look forward to the next one. Take care. Bye.
Same here.
Thank you. Bye.